Warning, the following program contains scenes that may not be appropriate for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Are you ready now? I got to freak it out. Say you're ready now. I'm not gonna say it again. Who said a man can't take a stand? He's got a plan, he's got a right. He'll fight to win. He won't give in. He'll watch the signs or pay a price. You stole your pride. You paid a price. Know that it gets you every time. Still, I wanna know, are you ready for war? 'Cause it's coming around. Are you ready once more? I am not gonna say it again. This is one thing you should know. So you better get it through your head. Are you ready for war? 'Cause it's coming around. No, I'm not gonna say it again. No, I'm not gonna say it again.
Welcome everyone to CWE Wrestling. Dave Petro ringside, joined once again by my broadcast colleague Kevin Cannon. And Kevin, kicking off tonight's show, a big one-on-one contest. You see that gentleman entering the ring right now, Ricky Starks. He goes one-on-one with the first All-Star, Brian Rich.
This is a match. I think Ricky Starks is the more superior athlete in every aspect. He's smarter, he's stronger, he's faster, he's bigger, he's more agile. He has everything in his favor here, but Brian Rich does have that X factor. Brian Rich inexplicably has the crowd behind him, as we are about to see here. I bet you this crowd will go bonkers for him, which I can't make here nor there of.
Absolutely packed in here tonight, the CWE Arena, and that is the kind of audiences that we get everywhere CWE appears. And of course, the Lethal Injection Tour was not any kind of exception to that rule, packing them in all over Manitoba. And now we have two things in our sights, Kevin Cannon. We've got Comic-Con, which is Friday, October 31st to November 2nd, featuring all the stars of the CWE and a couple other surprises.
Oh yeah, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Wow.
Tito Santana.
Arriba!
And of course, the lovely Victoria.
My favorite. And then, the big bombshell. This has been a rumor for the last couple of days all over Manitoba, all over northwestern Ontario, all part of the United States. January. We're looking ahead to January.
Oh yeah.
And by popular demand, I don't want to spill all the beans yet, but probably the biggest name in CWE history whoever graced the ring in terms of international star, he's coming back in January.
Bigger than Brian Rich?
Absolutely. You know, you said that too. You know, Ricky Starks does have some size on Brian Rich. And I don't think there's many wrestlers in the CWE that are smaller than Brian Rich in terms of weight-wise.
I think that list is pretty short. Oh, short sleeve Samson.
Yeah, absolutely. Anthony Wayne, for what he lacks in height, he makes up in enthusiasm and ring experience. I can't say the same about Brian Rich, though.
Definitely not. But Brian Rich, wow, getting some holds in here early. Yeah. He's got the wrist of Ricky Starks. Knee drop onto the arm of Ricky Starks. Brian Rich, like I said, he's not a slouch. He's not horrible. He's not an amateur by any stretch, but this is Canadian wrestling's elite. The E stands for elite. Brian Rich at any other organization would probably be the top guy. He would be the champ. He would be a title holder. But in here against North America's finest wrestlers, he has a big challenge ahead of him. He's got a big ladder to climb, and he's a young guy. He still might get there one day. Will it be today? Who knows? A victory over Ricky Starks will definitely take him one rung further up that ladder.
Kevin, I have to agree with you 100% on this one. Brian Rich, in all my years around professional wrestling, a guy like Brian Rich, he does have some talent. He does have the ability. He does have some moves, but he just can't put everything together.
He doesn't have the brains. That's a big part.
I wasn't going to say that.
I know you'll beat around the bush a little more there, Petro, but I'll say it. He doesn't have the brains. I don't know if he's been dropped on his head one too many times or if he ate paint chips as a child, But regardless, Brian Rich is in control of this match with Ricky Starks here, and perhaps Ricky Starks saw this as a look-ahead match. Perhaps Ricky Starks is kind of looking past Brian Rich here. Ricky Starks coming off that huge match last week against Chase Owens.
Wow.
He could still be feeling for that, but Brian Rich also coming off a match last week with Sigmon. Both these guys have had an equal amount of rest.
And speaking of Sigmon and Chase Owens, those two gentlemen, those two elite grapplers meet in tonight's main event.
Wow, I cannot wait to see how those two interact with each other in the ring. Right now, Ricky Starks starting to even things out here with Brian Rich. A little bit of a shoving match, a little bit of a battle for control here, and Ricky Starks dumps him down onto his mush and takes the leg into the back with kind of a modified sharpshooter here.
Now, Ricky Starks has been around the territory for a little while now, and we talk about the guys like Jason Kincaid, the gift Jason Kincaid, with a lot of unorthodox maneuvers, but I got to put Ricky Starks in that category too, because I see Ricky Starks in his arsenal of holds, stuff I haven't seen for years.
Ricky Starks has done a lot of his training down in Texas, which is just a different moveset down there. It's a different wrestling base down there. Every territory has its own kind of base set where the veteran guys teach the younger guys, here's what I need you to work on, here's what's important, here's what your focus is, and then you get these different styles, and then we see a master of one style and a master of another style, and we see whose style. Whoa! Thinking alike there, both
Absolutely.
men bridging up. Wow. I must say I am impressed with Brian Rich thus far in this match. I think I am going to put my foot in my mouth here.
He does seem to raise his game to the level of his opponent from time to time, and I'm talking about the first All-Star, Brian Rich, but like I've said before, he just cannot put it together. He can't. It's like he can't combine 3 or 4 offensive moves in a row.
Ricky Starks now here combining his offensive moves in a row. He's got the wrist of the... Oh, wow, and that had some acoustics to it.
Absolutely. Still to come on today's program, Tyler Colton, the Blue-Eyed Idol, goes one-on-one with formerly one half of the tag team champions, Tommy Lee Curtis. That is coming up, and of course the big main event, as I mentioned before, Sigmon goes one-on-one with Chase Owens. Irish whip into the corner, Brian Rich now ducking under Ricky Starks. Oh, a tremendous arm drag, and can he follow it up with another one? Body slam coming up. That's 2 offensive moves to my point. And now, this is where I find that the guy doesn't have that killer quality. He just doesn't go in for the next move.
Exactly. It's almost like he's running his list of moves that he knows through his head. He's thinking, what should I do next? What should I do next? And in that time, Ricky Starks is recovering. He's coming back, and he's firing back on him.
This match brought to you by another one of our tremendous sponsors, Kevin Cannon.
Chicken Chef in Morden.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, they got pizza, they got chicken, they got lunch, they got breakfast, they got dinner, everything you want when you're down in the Morden area. Pop by Chicken Chef and get your fill.
One of my favorite spots to eat when I am in Morden. I love going out there too. Oh, off the ropes, duck under Ricky Starks. What elevation. Oh, look at this.
Big head scissors. Wow, Ricky Starks. I think Ricky Starks definitely is taking Brian Rich for granted in this match, and he is paying dearly for it.
And listen to this crowd. They are firmly behind Brian Rich. And again, Brian Rich just doesn't have that killer instinct. Instead of posing for the crowd, he should take his opponent a little bit more seriously. And stuff like that happens.
Exactly. You pause too long.
Yep.
You wait too long. You have that moment of hesitation. You have that moment of rest. You're giving your opponent. Wow. And Ricky Starks just not only putting all his weight, stomping down onto that sternum of Brian Rich. And how Ricky Starks is happy. He is in heaven here. He loves being on top. He loves having a victory firm within his grasp. Brian Rich is injured. I think he may have a broken rib from that. Wow. And he's just slapping his head.
Yeah, both feet, firmly the weight planted on there. There is no breaking a fall. There is no way to move to avoid what Ricky Starks did to Brian Rich. And now the match, the tide has turned a little bit, firing back with a right hand and a kind of a weak kind of a slap there, and Ricky Starks just kind of kicks him off, and now it's kind of continuing the offense right now in our opening contest. CWE Wrestling on the air. Look at this, the elevation, holding up in the air, the big body slam. Surprisingly strong, Ricky Starks, for a man that just is a very, very slender man, but has tremendous ring conditioning and a lot of experience, as you mentioned before, being trained and schooled in professional wrestling down in the great state of Texas.
Definitely. Look at Ricky Starks now. Ricky Starks is almost saving his energy, saving his gas tank for the right moment. He's like a viper waiting for the right time to strike his prey and inject that poison into them. And now Ricky Starks, and look, he doesn't just have a jaw lock on him here. He's rubbing that elbow pad, that abrasive elbow pad into the face of Brian Rich, causing him discomfort, pain, disorientation, and most of all, he's got a legitimate submission hold on him here. Brian Rich could tap out from this.
Absolutely, because sometimes people see the side headlock and they really don't take that move a lot seriously, but they really look at Brian Rich right now trying to fight his way out of it, because it is that pressure is on the ears, on the head, on the lower neck, on the shoulder area, and it's hard to get out of. It's hard to get your strategy when your head is getting squished like that. It's hard to come up with a counter maneuver.
Definitely, and then the rest of your match, your neck is in pain, your back is off, your shoulders are off, and that could affect your offense.
At one fall, 30-minute time limit. Oh, yeah.
Well, speaking of which, if Brian Rich hadn't have just gotten out of that chin lock there, I think he might have been able to mount something against Ricky Starks.
Yeah, 1, 2 count. Ricky Starks going one-on-one with the first All-Star. Brian Rich still to come. Main event tonight. Sigmon takes on Chase Owens. A little bit later on, you'll see the Blue-Eyed Idol, Tyler Colton, go one-on-one with TLC, Tommy Lee Curtis.
Brian Rich running on fumes here, using that energy that the crowd's giving him.
Ducks under.
And what's he got? Oh, big pump kick there on Ricky Starks.
Another chop.
Another chop on him. Ricky Starks has burned a lot of energy as well in this match, but not so much that he can't throw him in the corner. And Brian Rich gets that boot up just in the nick of time. Now he's thinking, comes off with a big forearm. Yeah.
Kind of slipped on there, like he kind of lost his footing. And look at Ricky Starks. Yeah, he gets him up. Oh, look at this!
Wow!
What would you call that, Kevin Cannon?
That's a modified DDT if I ever saw
One,
it.
2, 3, he got him!
Wow, what an amazing finishing maneuver on the behalf of Ricky Starks.
Wow, that was impressive, Kevin Cannon. That modified DDT, almost a bit of a pile driver in that too, and Ricky Starks victorious and putting on a big smile before the referee raises his hand. Absolutely, a well-deserved and hard-earned victory in our opening contest this week on CWE Wrestling. And as I have been mentioning, what kind of dance is that, Kevin Cannon?
Bit of a chicken dance.
A little bit of a chicken dance. Still to come, television main event. Chase Owens, the NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion, he goes one-on-one with Sigmon. Wrestling fans, when in Gladstone, stay at the beautiful and historical Gladstone Hotel, a proud sponsor of the CWE.
I go to Muscles by Myers because I trust them.
The staff is phenomenal. You come in, they're always positive, they're always happy to see you.
I walked in there not knowing a thing about supplements, and the staff there showed me everything I need to know.
I lost about 40 pounds and then put on about 10 pounds of muscle.
I've gotten stronger, I have more energy.
I go to Muscles by Myers because they offer great advice, competitive pricing, and they care about helping you achieve your goals.
If I can do it, you can do it.
Welcome back to CWE Wrestling. Dave Petro ringside, joined once again by Kevin Cannon. And Kevin, our next contest features a man that has been around professional wrestling for a very short time, but has made a tremendous impact. I'm talking about the Blue-Eyed Idol, Tyler Colton.
This is a man who I will say, stand by firmly, week in, week out, he will hold CWE gold.
Yeah, we've talked about that on many occasions, and the Blue-Eyed Idol, Tyler Colton, bit of an ego. I'm going to say that. I'm going to throw that out there. Definitely a bit of an ego. And this is going to be a tremendous matchup. He's going one-on-one with Tommy Lee Curtis, TLC. Two guys in the ring that have formerly held tag team gold.
That's right. Not only that, a lot of people don't realize these two men trained together. They entered the business of professional wrestling around the same time. They did a lot of the same training under Mentalo together. Yeah. These are two guys who have come back, I would say 3-4 years later, and are going to see where they are at this stage in their career and what they can do one-on-one with one another.
And if you look at both wrestlers, Kevin, these guys are about the same size height-wise, and probably about the same weight, although Tommy Lee Curtis is a little, maybe just a little more slender than the Blue-Eyed Idol Tyler Colton, because Tyler Colton, every time I see this guy come out, he's getting more muscle, more pounds on his frame. He is developing into quite a wrestler.
Have you seen Tyler Colton at the gym? I've seen him down at the Brick House with Paul Arcidi. He's come down there. He's actually done some boxing and some sparring with us as well. Tyler Colton is an animal. He is on a mission. He is a focused man. He is a strong man. He is a determined man, but biggest thing with him, he is a young man. He's got a big upside, big future to him, and the sky is the limit for this guy.
Previously in this year was down in Texas, training with some of the greats down there, and expanding his repertoire of moves and adding dates, towns, and territories to his resume, because his goal is to someday be the CWE heavyweight champion.
And I don't doubt for a second that day will come, possibly sooner rather than later. What's Tommy? Butt bump to the face from Tommy Lee Curtis there. That was a little interesting, but that's the kind of guy that Tommy Lee Curtis is. He's kind of off the wall.
Whether it be the Palomino Club, Club St. B, over at the Silver Spike Saloon, Tommy Lee Curtis is that same personality with that butt bump.
Oh yeah, he loves to pull that one out of the books every once in a while.
Absolutely.
And look at that, the two men collide, and like you said, about equal strength, equal size. Yep. Neither man really budging on that.
No, not at all. Speaking of the Silver Spike Saloon, tremendous after parties every time the CWE is in town in Winnipeg. Some tremendous places, and you see guys like Tommy Lee Curtis holding court, if you will, with the ladies.
Beautiful Bobby J can also be found not only on the days of the CWE events, but sometimes he likes to frequent there on his own time as well.
Recently read about him in the Winnipeg Sun. He's been, Bobby J has been basically turning his body around and bit of a fitness kick whatsoever, and they've been recognized by Doug Lundy in the Winnipeg Sun a couple of Mondays ago.
Oh my! Wow. Shades of Bobby J there, flying over the top rope and back up to his feet. This man is resilient. This man can fly from over the top rope to the height down to the gymnasium floor where there's no padding, no give, just pure concrete, and he's back on his feet and he's throwing elbows at Tyler Colton.
Absolutely. What elevation that TLC got on that as he basically flew through the air with the greatest of ease, and now continues his assault on the Blue-Eyed Idol Tyler Colton. One fall, 30-minute time limit in our second contest this week on CWE. Still to come, main event. Sigmon goes to one-on-one with the NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion, Chase Owens.
After this matchup, Dave, when we come back from our final commercial break, we're going to have not one, but two announcements in regards to next week's television episode. We will have a double main event, one of which will be a number one contenders match.
Number one contenders match. You know what? You're in the loop, because I think the producers and the backstage production assistants didn't clue me in on that. I'm as surprised as probably our wrestling fans are.
Two men who couldn't be more deserving of that number one contenders match, Dave Petro.
You know, and some of the other bombshells you dropped earlier on, October 31st, Comic-Con at the Winnipeg Convention Center in Winnipeg. Not only will Victoria be there, not only will there be Tito Santana, but wrestling fans, you have an opportunity to meet Jake the Snake Roberts.
A true legend in his own right.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. The man has been there, done that in the world of professional wrestling. He is a man who can tell you stories for miles and miles and miles, and you can shake his hand, get your picture taken with him, get an autograph, have him put you in a little submission hold if you want for a photo, whatever you want. He's going to be there all day, all 3 of those days, to meet every last person that comes through those doors.
The ring psychology, the great interviews back in the 80s and 90s, and his trials and tribulations that well
Tyler
documented.
Colton missing with a big drop. Tommy Lee Curtis has him rolled up. Oh, wow.
As I was saying, trials and tribulations of Jake the Snake Roberts is documented on the documentary Beyond the Mat.
Yes.
And of course now turning his life around once again, fighting through some illness and wanting to get to Winnipeg, wanting to meet some of the fans, and you have that opportunity October 31st and November 2nd at Comic-Con, and you'll meet Tito Santana and Victoria, and of course all the stars of the CWE.
Tyler Colton here with a good arm lock on Tommy Lee Curtis. Tommy Lee Curtis had a little bit of fun at the start of this match. He was reeling, he was wheeling and dealing and reeling, and Tyler Colton had enough of that. He's got him down now, and he's picked that left arm of Tommy Lee Curtis, and he's working on it. He's working on it methodically. He's working on it intelligently, and he's looking to use that to defeat his opponent.
Wheeling, dealing, and now freewheeling.
You bet.
Oh!
Wow, the aggression of Tyler Colton is just something to be said. He is an angry, angry man. He has one goal in mind, that is CWE gold, and anybody that's in that ring with him is just an obstacle that he has to not climb over but plow through.
Former tag team champion and now looking to capture singles gold, as is Tommy Lee Curtis, because Tommy Lee Curtis also having such a great career so far in the CWE. Now up and over, rolls over Tyler Colton, roll him up.
Oh wow, this is tricky.
Oh, I thought he had him. Tyler Colton now back to his feet with a big stomp to the back of Tommy Lee Curtis, and now following up another big boot. What can more be said about the blue-eyed idol Tyler Colton? This guy, as you said, aggressiveness, anger, and his sights firmly set on continuing his great rise to the top of the world of professional wrestling, and of course getting by a former tag team champion Tommy Lee Curtis will only propel him higher up into the ranks.
Speaking of being propelled up into those ranks, the more Tyler Colton climbs those ranks, the more he gets these high-profile matches. We have seen Tyler Colton in the ring with guys like Rhino. We have seen him in there. He actually holds a pinfall victory over Paul London. But sooner or later, we know that we're going to have to see Tyler Colton and Mentolo, his former tag team partner and tag team championship holder, and his mentor. They're going to sooner or later have to meet. If one of them wants a title shot, if one of them wants to be the top man in the company, sooner or later those two guys have got to lock horns.
Absolutely. Want to give a big shout out to some of the great towns, Bird and Souris, for hosting the CWE earlier on in the week. Some tremendous crowds. Once again out. Standing room only signs being put out everywhere. The CWE banner is being flown, and of course we are going to come to a town near you, and we've got some exciting dates coming up.
Wow, look at that stunner that he
absolutely gave. Some exciting dates coming up in January, and we'll have more information on that.
A stunner of his own from TLC.
You're watching the match. I'm trying to sell the events there. That's how I get paid, putting butts in seats. But what a tremendous contest. Both men down. Referee has the count. Again, January, some tremendous CWE events coming up, and get information on that at cwecanada.ca. And I'm going to drop a name right now. I'm going to drop a name in January. Big Papa Pump.
Wow.
Big Papa Pump. Scott Steiner makes his return to the CWE January. Again, more information in the weeks to come on CWE television.
Tommy Lee Curtis has the momentum back in his favor, but Tyler Colton just plants himself, uses all that arm strength to reverse the whip. Oh wow, look at this.
Look at this. Absolutely.
Wow.
Look at that. 1, 2, and oh! I thought that was it after a series of big maneuvers like that, some of the neck breakers. Tommy Lee Curtis is definitely Mr. Excitement in the ring, Kevin Cannon.
You bet. Tommy Lee Curtis is a man who's flashy. He's got moves, he's got style, he's got finesse, and most of all, he's got talent.
Big misses with the clothesline. Look at Tyler Colton coming up.
Whoa!
Oh man, the neck is not supposed to bend that way.
And all he has to do is reach over and make that pin. He is out cold.
Could be it. 1, 2, and oh. Tyler Colton not able to get the 3 count. That was almost like instinct. Tommy Lee Curtis kicking out.
Wow, I cannot believe that he had the ability to muster up the strength to kick out of that.
Absolutely. Referee right on top of the action. Tyler Colton now looking down at TLC, picking him up.
Tyler Colton breathing heavily. Yeah. He has exerted a lot of energy in this match, but he's a strong guy. Hoists Tommy Lee Curtis, who's no small man either, up to the top rope. gives him a punch or two just for good measure, but Tommy Lee Curtis is not dead yet.
No, he is not. He is fighting back, duking it out. And now Tyler Colton mounting that second rope. Will we see a superplex? Tommy Lee Curtis might come back into the ring the hard way.
I don't know if this roof is high enough to allow for that.
Oh my, Tommy Lee Curtis trying to fight back a little bit. Oh, he just plants Tyler Colton. Tommy Lee Curtis now getting himself back in position. Oh, look at this! Sunset flip. Oh!
Rolls right through, though, uses that momentum. Oh, wow, what a mule kick to the face.
Oh, man.
1, 2.
Oh, good thing Tyler Colton had that grill in to protect his teeth.
Yeah, he might be missing a few otherwise.
I had to rub my mouth because that was just such tremendous impact.
Please do not try to talk to Tyler Colton after the show. He'll have a fat lip. He won't be able to say much.
Absolutely. Tommy Lee Curtis now back in control. Irish whip reversal by Tyler Colton. Tommy Lee hits the ropes, ducks from behind, comes up from behind, looks, oh, big elbow to the side of the face. Now look at this, both men reversing the holds, reverse elbow, twists the arm, comes back, he holds the referee, while he distracted the referee grabbing at his shirt, low blow from behind, and now.
Right in the goose.
Yeah, oh, look at that. Tyler Colton taking advantage of a gaffe by the referee. 1, 2, and 3. Tyler Colton, the blue-eyed idol, victorious over Tommy Lee Curtis. And a little bit of a low blow, if you will, gets him, but nonetheless, the victory here in CWE.
Yeah, Tyler Colton notches up another win. Wow, look at the size of that guy. He is one intimidating, scary dude. Coming up after the commercial break, we're going to have tonight's main event, the NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion of the World, Chase Owens, will go one-on-one with Sigmon.
CWE Wrestling returns right after these.
You know what value is? It's being able to afford a clean, comfortable room at Motel 6 when you visit your relatives instead of staying at their house. Can't put a price on that. I'm Tom Bodette from Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
Give your body the edge in one click with musclesbymyers.com. We have sports supplements, vitamins and minerals for all lifestyles and levels of fitness. And call or email for free one-on-one guidance. Smart buyers shop at Myers and Muscles by Myers.
Tonight, right here in CWE, you're going to see the wrestling extraordinaire, the true winner Sigmon, take on Chase Owens for the NWA World Junior title. Now, let me tell you something real fast about myself and Chase, and that is we are no strangers to each other. We've been in the ring with each other over 700 times. All throughout the United States, from coast to coast, the Carolinas to California, New York to Florida, me and Chase know exactly what each other are like. And that is going to create a perfect dynamic because I know how to counter every single thing Chase does. And I'm going to do exactly what it takes to walk out with that 16 pounds of gold around my waist. Chase, you're nothing but a loser.
Wrestling fans, coming up next week right here on CWE Television, a match to determine the number one contender for the CWE Championship. Kevin Cannon goes one-on-one with hotshot Danny Duggan, and in our main event, AJ Sanchez takes on Dick Blood. Kevin Cannon, I have to ask, how did you get a match to be in line for a CWE Championship shot? You have to defeat hotshot Danny Duggan next week, and then you will face Heavy Metal.
You bet. Money talks and BS walks, Dave Petro.
Wow. You know what? All the great wrestlers in CWE, for Danny Duggan to go against to determine the number one contender to the Heavy Metals Championship, I didn't think you'd be stepping in. You surprise me each and every week, Kevin Cannon. I don't know how you pull off these shady deals. In the ring right now, a man who has basically tore up the roads of professional wrestling. He is up and down and all around. Only man that probably puts on more air miles than Sigmon is hotshot Danny Duggan, and he's got his hands full this week taking on the NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion Chase Owens.
Back from a successful title defense over in Japan. Wow, Chase Owens is the real deal. We saw last week that incredible match he had with Ricky Starks. He is back 1 week later, ready to face one of the biggest names in Canadian wrestling's elite, and that is Sigmon.
I got to tell you something, Kevin Cannon. Never has the talent, the roster in professional wrestling right here in the CWE been better. Chase Owens, Sigmon, Sanjay Dutt, Jimmy Jakes, everybody.
Jason Kincaid,
all these guys, and of course, coming up in January.
Oh yeah,
Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner.
The big bad booty daddy.
Well, maybe we shouldn't have been talking, maybe a little bit disrespectful, as Sigmon gets his, and I use the word proper, ring introduction. I use that term very, very loosely. He demands on that. He puts that in his contract that he gets a, what he calls U.S. style ring introduction.
That's right. We respect this man's heritage, and as a company, I think it is very gracious that the CWE allows him to have his own special introduction.
And our ring announcer, Playboy Will Damon, will introduce the champion.
Oh yeah, Chase Owens. As I was saying earlier, Chase Owens is the real deal. He has held that title for coming up on a couple of years now. He has dropped it once or twice and regained it to a few different wrestlers. And this is the same title that guys like Gerald Briscoe, guys like Jushin Thunder Liger, guys like, I can't even name, Dory Funk, guys
Tiger Mask
have all held. This is the biggest title that has ever come through town here in the CWE. Not that the CWE championships themselves aren't something to be vied for, but this title has history. This title has been around since 1945, Dave Petro.
Absolutely.
Since you were about 20 years old.
What a storied history. That's not correct. What a storied history has the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship. All the great wrestlers, everybody. This, like I said, like you said, the lineage on this title, dating back to 1945, has been absolutely tremendous, and it is on the line tonight, right here on CWE Wrestling.
Chavo Guerrero Sr., Hector Guerrero, Gagne, they have all held this title, and now here it is in the CWE building, being defended in the CWE ring right here on CWE TV.
And a little known fact, well, maybe not so much.
A little bit of disrespect there on the side of Sigmon. I think he's just getting in the head of Chase
But not
Owens.
so much a little known fact, because we all know Vern Gagne, the legacy of the Gagne family here in Manitoba and all over the northern part of the United States. But Vern Gagne was the NWA Junior Heavyweight champ, and then he moved into the heavyweight. He could not get a title shot against the champion, and then went on, and the promoters in the upper Midwest and in Canada created the AWA because Vern Gagne couldn't get a champ, and created a third World Heavyweight Championship.
Dave Petro, I bet you learned that from Vance Nevada's book, didn't you?
Vance Nevada. Vance Nevada, basically the greatest ring historian in Canada, and I read all his stuff. And it was great to see Vance Nevada back in Souris once again. I always take time to catch up with him every time I'm in the Souris area.
One of the true veterans of our sport, living his retirement years out in Souris, helping the community out there.
Absolutely.
Oh, Sigmon and Chase going move for move, hole for hole. Chase, wow, just so crisp, so clean, so quick, he just comes up with a move after move after move. He doesn't take time to think. It's like in the NFL when you have one of those quarterbacks who, the second they receive that snap, they know where they're throwing that ball to. They know exactly where to launch it, exactly where their receiver's going to be. That's what Chase Owens is. That's what Sigmon is.
He's the Peyton Manning of the NWA World Junior Championship?
He's the Dan Marino, only he has a title to his name.
And he's not in any bad movies.
No.
Oh,
wow!
That.
Look at that Japanese arm drag.
And that is some of the moves that he picked up when he was down in Japan. This man is literally an encyclopedia of wrestling holds. He trains it. You know what? Every time that I'm by him in the locker room area, all he's doing is talking wrestling. He's talking to guys like Hotshot Danny Duggan. He's talking. I don't see him talking to you, Kevin Cannon.
I've got better things to do with my time.
But he was talking. I saw him a couple of weeks ago talking to Mentolo back in there, huddled in the corner. And these guys, they're not talking about girls or Facebook. They're talking wrestling.
Oh, wow. Did you see that elbow?
I did. Absolutely. Crossbody block. 1, 2. Sigmon kicking out. And another big arm drag takeover. Listen to this crowd. Chase Owens. Very, very popular so far here in the CWE.
And if you'll notice, with these arm drags, with all these maneuvers, these throws and tosses that Chase Owens does, he doesn't just toss Sigmon across the ring and leave him there. The second he throws him, he's on top of that arm. He still has a grasp on it. He still holds on to that move. Sigmon manages to break free, though, and sometimes nothing works better than a good old-fashioned forearm club across the back.
Yeah, we talked about the experience that guys like Chase Owens get in Japan, but I was mentioning earlier on, a guy like Sigmon, I follow him on Instagram,
yeah,
and I almost get tired. This guy is tirelessly going up and down the roads of the United States every night in a different town and a different opponent.
Oh yeah, Chase Owens, well-versed, and still a young man. Chase Owens is not, he's under 30 still, as is Sigmon. These two guys are two guys who just have the brightest future. And I know it sounds like I say that a lot. I say that about guys like Tyler Colton and about the other CWE roster members. But these two guys, there's so many people in the CWE that are just going to move on to the grandest stage of them all. And right now is your chance to see them live. Come out January. CWE will be making its big return for the first time in 5 years to Yorkton, Saskatchewan.
Wow.
And then the tour rolls on through Virden, Souris, Winnipeg, Morden, and of course Gladstone.
Absolutely. Yorkton, Saskatchewan gets set. The CWE returning to that area, and that is one hotbed of professional wrestling going back to Stu Hart's Stampede Wrestling days.
Oh yeah, and who is Scott Steiner going to face? Stay tuned to CWECanada.ca.
That is not one guy. That's not. I can't say that the roster, the locker room is lining up to face Big Papa Pump. We saw what he did a couple of years ago to Billy Blaze.
Oh yeah. I doubt a lot of people are signing that contract in a hurry.
And Billy Blaze basically changing his attitude after stepping into the ring with Big Papa Pump.
You could say he knocked some sense into him.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, Sigmon knocking one out of the park across the chest of Chase Owens with just a thunderous chop.
We talk about these guys traveling the roads of professional wrestling, but when they are in Winnipeg, they like to hang their hat and lay down at the Motel 6.
Motel 6 hosts all of the guests of the CWE, puts them up in their fantastic rooms, in their fantastic facility on the number 1 highway just west of Winnipeg. Go to motel6.com to book your room today.
Like Tom Bodette says, we'll leave the light on for you.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Oh!
Wow, guillotine across the top rope. Sigmon has that Tyler Colton strength where he's in the gym.
Look at him rubbing his fist into the face of Chase Owens during that pin attempt. Oh, he's trying to say, maybe I'm just gonna maybe that's from pasting him with a hard right hand, and now comes back with another forearm. One fall, 60-minute time limit, NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship on the line. Sigmon, the challenger, Chase Owens, the champion, and Chase Owens just got a back full of turnbuckle, Kevin Cannon.
As far as I'm concerned, Dave Petro, this match is a coin toss. I think both of these men are equally skilled. Both of these men deserve to be at the top of the food chain here in Canadian Wrestling's elite. And today, either one of these men could walk out of here the champion.
Absolutely. You know what? These guys, and Sigmon, we've seen him over the past few weeks right here on CWE Wrestling. Now, I don't agree with his tactics, and I really think his attitude stinks, but he is a winner, Kevin Cannon, and that's why he has a championship shot right now.
Sigmon definitely racks up a lot more wins than he does losses. I will give him that.
Chase Owens coming hard into the boot, and now a victim of a front face lock. Sigmon looking very happy with himself right now. He has the referee ask him, and now Chase Owens in a bit of a bad way. He needs to get back to a vertical base. He needs to get back to a sit-up position because nothing can happen. This technically could be a submission maneuver because Sigmon is wearing down the champion. Sigmon is wearing down Chase Owens, and the referee has raised a hand, but Chase Owens still has some fight left in him, Kevin Cannon.
Funny you should say that, Dave. You know what it is called? When the referee drops a wrestler's hand 3 times and he cannot respond, that's a technical submission.
Technical submission.
Technically, it could be a submission.
You know the rules of professional wrestling. You just choose to ignore them, Kevin Cannon.
You gotta know them to know how to work around them.
Absolutely, and of course, you've got your work cut out for you next week as you go one-on-one with Hotshot Danny Duggan. The winner of that contest will determine the number 1 contender for the CWE Championship currently held by Heavy Metal.
That gold will come to the Cannon Cartel.
So, have you got a strategy? Will we see the Rebel Bobby Collins? Will we see Rob Stardom? What kind of stuff will you pull out of your hat?
Oh, I can't give that away here. That's all going to be revealed right here next week on CWE TV. You have to tune in to find out.
And your former protege, the man who saw the light and broke away out of your evil grasp, Dick Blood, he goes one-on-one with a Canadian crusher, AJ Sanchez.
That will be a real interesting match to see, a real clash of styles there. I'm not sure what to make of that, but definitely there will be fireworks in that one.
Dick Blood basically on a tear through the CWE, and AJ Sanchez, of course, firmly aligned in the corner of Heavy Metal. Him and Mr. Incredible basically doing some of the dirty work for Heavy Metal, and I don't know what I can even say that. A couple of henchmen, couple of thugs, if you will.
Hired help, I like to refer to them
Hired help, okay, we'll go with that. Sigmon once again applying the pressure on the NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion, Chase Owens.
Here comes that technical submission.
Oh, he's able to get the hand back up.
Left in him.
And you know, when a guy is down like that, he's getting tremendous pressure around that neck and that throat area, but he does get a chance to get his breath back, get his chance to get the wind back in that one, even though he is in tremendous pain.
As does his opponent, though. It is give and take equally there, and right now these guys are giving and taking punches and forearm smashes back and forth to one another. Wow, Sigmon shaking that one out of his fist and out of his arm.
Yeah. Oh my!
Just picked that foot up and threw it right in his face like it was nothing.
Certainly did, but Chase Owens comes back with some right arm forearms. Irish whip reversal. Chase Owens off the ropes. Oh, it comes back. Shade the Tito Santana with a flying forearm. I almost wanted to yell out Arriba. You will see Tito Santana, of course, October 31st, November 2nd, Comic-Con, Winnipeg Convention Center. Go to the CWE Canada website to find out more information. Jake the Snake Roberts, Victoria, all will be appearing at Comic-Con, as well as Tito Santana and all the stars of the CWE.
Dave Petro, at the start of this match, did I not ascertain that both of these men are equally skilled and equally have a chance to walk away as the NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion? And here they are just going move for move, hold for hold, pound for pound, knuckle for knuckle, you name it. These men are about as equal as you can get, but they're not equally mediocre. They are equally superb.
If I was to score this one, I'd give Sigmon so far the slight edge. He's had a few more devastating maneuvers.
Like that one.
Absolutely. Wow. Sigmon could be on his way to capturing championship gold. The champion, Chase Owens, looks like he could be in danger of giving up that Junior Heavyweight Championship. Sigmon has just been all over him, especially in the last few minutes of this match.
Sigmon just a couple weeks back coming off that big NWA Championship match against Rob Conway. He learned a lot from that match, and he's bringing it into this match, and he is bringing it to Chase Owens.
Oh, what an uppercut.
Wow, European uppercut on the behalf of Sigmon there. Chase Owens definitely thinking twice about why he got himself into this match with a man the likes of Sigmon.
Absolutely, now choking them on the second rope. Referee has the count going. You have the count of 5 to break it off, but now pulls the hair back to add a little bit more pain to injury, if you will. And now pulls him out of the corner, getting him up, trying to get him up for a suplex.
Double underhook of some kind.
Yep, he's got, but Chase Owens now fighting out.
Wow, and there's that suplex. You called it, Dave Petro.
Absolutely. Sigmon now up to the second rope. Comes back.
Big. Wow.
Gee.
Caught him with some elbow and with some knee.
2, this could be it. Kevin Cannon. No, Chase Owens able to kick out at the count of 2.
But Chase Owens is seeing 3 Sigmons right now when he looks at him. Chase Owens is definitely on Days Street.
Now, he did have that tremendous matchup last week with Ricky Starks, and again, Sigmon, no slouch. He's been battling some top opponents too, but maybe that Ricky Starks match has taken a little bit out of Chase Owens.
That is definitely a possibility, and I like to believe, as is the case with any sport, that rest period plays a huge factor in the determining who wins and who loses in the next match.
I think, didn't Sigmon take on Brian Rich last week?
He certainly did.
So I think that definitely Chase Owens had the tougher of the 2 matches.
Oh, I would venture to say that. Well, look at that. Their 2 opponents went on to face each other today.
They did. They did.
And Ricky Starks was victorious. So obviously Ricky Starks was the tougher opponent of the 2.
Absolutely. And of course now Chase Owens back to his feet, coming across. A couple of elbows to the midsection. Oh!
Big smack to the face.
Yeah. Oh, and then Sigmon now able to counter that with a big knee. And now,
wow!
He called him a loser and then dropped the DDT. Shades of Jake the Snake Roberts.
Look at that. He's out. He's out.
He is. Look at the eyes rolling back in the head.
Wow. He's done for.
Referee needs to get on top of this. There could be serious injury to Chase Owens. But Chase Owens
not done yet. I love it.
Favoring that neck, favoring the back of the head. And now I don't know if he knows where he is. He's going to turn around and look at this Sigmon.
Wow.
Able to duck the clothesline.
Wow, big heel kick there from Chase Owens. Both men down. Chase Owens has definitely taken more damage, but that did not do any favors to Sigmon. That was right across his jaw. Could have caught him on his collarbone a bit there, which is a very painful spot to take any kind of strike.
Absolutely. Now both men looking to get back to their feet. The fans absolutely behind Chase Owens. And Sigmon, the man, quicker to the ring, tries to get him up. Oh, roll up!
Back and small.
1, 2. Oh! Where did that come from, Kevin Cannon?
I don't know. Chase Owens with a chin crusher now. Sigmon reeling back into the corner. His jaw's already been hit once, just recently with that heel kick, and now he's got that chin crusher on him. That being struck in the jaw is one of the worst places to get hit.
Absolutely.
You start seeing stars, you start seeing spots. You don't know where you are. You don't know north from south, from east from west. And Chase Owens moves out of the way, comes back.
Oh,
wow!
Another forearm. Another one. That's 3 now, Kevin Cannon. And comes up, duck under.
Down between the legs. Whoa!
Oh!
Faked high and went low.
He did, absolutely. Sigmon now, he didn't go down, but listen to this crowd. Chase Owens coming alive. Oh, another tremendous forearm uppercut and a boot to the face. And the place is absolutely going bananas. I can't even hear myself think, but Sigmon able to kick out at the count of 2, Kevin Cannon.
Dave Petro, I right here, right now, today, issue a challenge to any other wrestling organization in the world to accumulate the amount of talented individuals that CWE has. Nobody, I repeat, nobody in the world has individuals with this kind of ability, this kind of talent, this kind of level of athleticism. Not a single organization in the world.
Oh, look at this.
Wow!
That started off to be a snapmare and absolutely planted. Sigmon and Chase Owens taking off that elbow pad. Listen to this crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship firmly in the grasp of Chase Owens and comes across, and Sigmon still has some fight left. Oh, gets pasted by a couple of elbows. Third elbow. Chase Owens turns around. Oh, faced off. And look at that!
Big German releases him with it. Didn't have enough oomph in him to hold on to it and get that pinfall, but still enough to do some damage to the neck of Chase Owens. And now Sigmon can smell victory. He can smell that title going around his waist.
I might have called for a victory for Chase Owens a little too quick. And look at that clothesline.
Wow.
Almost
that
the 360.
Of Sigmon's is like being hit with a
1,
baseball
2,
bat.
no champion? No.
Almost. Again, this time he's got him.
The tenacity of Sigmon to stay on his opponent. Gets another 2 count. Chase Owens says no. And again, once again, the crowd is just willing on Chase Owens, the champion, in this tremendous title contest. And what do we have here? Kind of a full Nelson, trying to get that on there. We've seen Sigmon do this before. Chase Owens able to break crowd, goes around. Oh, look at this, a reversal.
Oh no, referee's down.
The referee just got clocked.
Either one of these men can be set to be pinned at any time. This is not good.
Chase Owens now accidentally nailing our referee. The referee, I don't think he's out cold. He's just dazed right now. I think they went head-to-head, Kevin Cannon.
Sigmon with that NWA. We were talking about all the history behind it. I bet it's never seen history like that. Laid across the face of the champion, soon to be former champion.
Oh my, we saw this. This could be it.
Come on,
1,
referee, count, you bugger.
2, and Chase Owens able to kick out after getting nailed in the head with his own championship belt by Sigmon, and Sigmon can't believe what just happened.
And this building is going insane. I can barely hear myself think. Over top of this crowd, they are firmly behind Chase Owens. But Sigmon has that belt in his hands again.
He is not the champion. The referee is saying, put that down. If he hits him with that, that could be a disqualification, Kevin Cannon. This could be it. Look at this. He calls him a loser. Referee takes that belt away. And the referee now getting into a jawing match with Sigmon, turning his back on Chase Owens, allowing Chase Owens for a recovery.
Oh!
And we've seen that before.
Big spinning fist right to the mush.
1, 2, and 3. He got him. Successful title defense.
What a match.
Oh my, ladies and gentlemen, still your NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion, Chase Owens. He gets the victory in a hard-fought victory over Sigmon. Kevin Cannon, as we were mentioning, you are involved next week in a #1 contenders match. You take on Hotshot Danny Duggan. The winner of that match will get a chance to go one-on-one with Heavy Metal. And in next week's main event, AJ Sanchez goes one-on-one with Dick Blood. Chase Owens now lapping up the cheers of the fans, holding that championship gold that connected with his head. On behalf of Kevin Cannon from CWE Wrestling, good night.